This week, former President Donald Trump drew attention after stating that Coca Cola may soon replace high fructose corn syrup with cane sugar in its U.S. products. What seems like a small change has already sparked intense public debate. Many people believe cane sugar is more natural, safer, and possibly a step forward for public health. But is that really true, especially for those at higher risk of heart disease? We all know that sugar is a major risk factor for obesity, diabetes, and metabolic disorders. But what's less commonly understood is that liquid sugar, especially high fructose corn syrup, HFCS, found in soft drinks, is directly linked to blood vessel inflammation, visceral fat accumulation, and arterial plaque buildup, which are key drivers of heart attacks. In this video, we'll break down the connection between sugar, corn syrup, and heart disease. We'll review the scientific evidence, examine Coca Cola's promise from a medical perspective, and most importantly, give you practical information to help you, especially those over 50, understand the hidden risks behind everyday soda habits. This isn't about brands, it's about the health of your heart. Sugar is a familiar part of the modern diet, but not all sugar is the same. In most soft drinks sold in the U.S., the primary sweetener used is high fructose corn syrup, or HFCS. This is a liquid sweetener made from cornstarch, processed with enzymes to convert some of the glucose into fructose. Depending on the product, HFCS typically contains between 42 and 55% fructose, with the rest being glucose. Unlike glucose, which enters the bloodstream directly, fructose is almost entirely processed in the liver. When consumed in large amounts, fructose increases the liver's production of triglycerides. This leads to fatty liver, elevated blood fats, and lipid imbalances, all of which raise the risk of atherosclerosis, the underlying cause of most heart attacks. Cane sugar, or sucrose, is a natural sugar extracted from sugarcane or sugar beets. Chemically, sucrose is made up of one glucose and one fructose molecule bonded together. Once inside the body, it breaks down into glucose and fructose, following a similar metabolic path to HFCS. For this reason, many health experts agree that biologically, the body responds to HFCS and cane sugar in nearly the same way, especially when consumed in liquid form, such as in soft drinks. One important point to consider is that HFCS often gets labeled as worse simply because it contains slightly more fructose and is associated with industrial processing. But from a metabolic standpoint, both HFCS and cane sugar contribute to the same problems: inflammation in blood vessels, elevated triglycerides, insulin resistance, and fat accumulation around the heart. This is particularly concerning for older adults who already face increased cardiovascular risk due to aging and related health conditions. When people think about heart attack risk, they usually point to high cholesterol, high blood pressure, or excess weight. But there's one common and often overlooked factor that plays a major role: sugar, especially liquid sugar, found in soft drinks. Over the past 2 decades, multiple studies have shown a strong link between excessive consumption of liquid sugar from both high fructose corn syrup, HFCS, and cane sugar, and serious cardiovascular disease. A 2014 study published in JAMA Internal Medicine found that people who consumed more than 25% of their daily calories from added sugar had nearly 3 times the risk of dying from heart disease compared to those who consumed less than 10%. And importantly, the sugar found in soft drinks, whether HFCS or sucrose, was identified as an independent risk factor, regardless of a person's weight or body mass index. Here's why it matters. When fructose is metabolized in the liver, it triggers the production of triglycerides, a type of blood fat that promotes atherosclerosis. It also raises uric acid levels, which causes inflammation in the blood vessels and impairs endothelial function, the lining inside your arteries. Over time, this leads to stiffer arteries and greater plaque buildup, sharply increasing the risk of heart attacks. Another study from the National Institutes of Health found that drinking just one sugar-sweetened soda per day can raise your heart attack risk by up to 20% over a few years. And this risk doesn't depend on whether the sugar comes from HFCS or cane sugar. Both lead to the same harmful metabolic effects. According to the American Heart Association, men should limit added sugar intake to no more than 36 grams per day, and women to 25 grams. A single can of Coca Cola contains about 39 grams of sugar, meaning just one can already exceeds the daily safe limit. For adults over 50, the impact is even more serious. As liver function slows, insulin sensitivity weakens, and arteries become more prone to plaque formation with age. The conclusion from major health organizations is clear. It doesn't matter whether the sugar comes from HFCS or cane. If consumed in excess, especially in liquid form, it silently and significantly increases your risk of heart attack. That's why simply switching the type of sugar used in soft drinks won't improve heart health if we don't also change how much of it we consume. Coca Cola's consideration of replacing high fructose corn syrup with cane sugar may sound like a positive step. But from a medical standpoint, does this change actually reduce the risk of heart disease for consumers? The reality is, both HFCS and cane sugar are forms of simple sugar. Both raise blood glucose, insulin levels, and blood lipids, and trigger inflammatory responses in the body. A single can of Coca Cola contains about 39 grams of sugar, regardless of which type is used. That means the calorie content and the metabolic impact on the liver and cardiovascular system remain virtually the same. Many health experts believe this shift is more of a branding move than a medical improvement. In the context of the Make America Healthy Again campaign led by Robert F. Kennedy Jr., which pushes food companies to improve product quality, Coca Cola's announcement may serve more as a public relations gesture than a real nutritional upgrade. The concern is that consumers may mistakenly believe cane sugar is significantly healthier, leading them to continue drinking sugary sodas with a false sense of reassurance. That mindset can be dangerous. Simply swapping one type of sugar for another doesn't reverse the growing trend of heart disease, especially when consumption remains high. Real progress only happens when there's a clear understanding of how sugar affects the body and a commitment to reducing overall added sugar intake. That's the change that truly supports heart health. Once you reach age 50, your body goes through significant physiological changes that make it harder to regulate blood sugar, blood fats, and blood pressure effectively. The liver processes sugar more slowly, blood vessels become more fragile, and arteries lose their natural elasticity. In this context, consuming simple sugars like high fructose corn syrup or cane sugar, especially in liquid form, becomes more dangerous than ever. In younger adults, the liver can temporarily compensate for spikes in blood sugar. But in older adults, excess fructose is more likely to convert into visceral fat, trigger chronic inflammation, raise triglyceride levels, and impair endothelial function, the critical layer inside your blood vessels. These factors lay the groundwork for plaque formation, arterial blockages, and eventually heart attacks. What's even more concerning is that adults over 50 are at higher risk for what doctors call silent heart attacks, events with no obvious symptoms. These are often mistaken for fatigue, indigestion, or back pain. By the time they're discovered, permanent heart damage may already occur. The risk becomes even more severe if you're living with pre-existing conditions like high blood pressure, type 2 diabetes, or fatty liver disease. In these cases, the impact of sugar-sweetened beverages is amplified. Just one can a day can raise your heart attack risk by nearly 20%, according to multiple independent medical reviews. At this stage of life, food and beverage choices are no longer just about personal preference. They are matters of survival, especially when it comes to your heart. Across the U.S., more cardiologists are raising concerns about the link between liquid sugar, especially high fructose corn syrup, HFCS, and cane sugar, and the rising rate of heart attacks in older adults. Dr. Robert Lustig, an endocrinologist and metabolic specialist at the University of California, explains, "It's the fructose, whether it comes from corn syrup or cane sugar, that drives fat buildup in the liver, insulin resistance, and silent inflammation in the cardiovascular system." Take the case of Gerald, a 62-year-old man. He didn't smoke, was only slightly overweight, and had no history of heart disease. But he had one consistent habit, drinking 2 cans of soda every day for 20 years. One day he was hospitalized for persistent chest discomfort and discovered he'd just had a mild heart attack. His blood work showed elevated triglycerides, stage 2 fatty liver, and dangerously high TMAO levels, a marker for vascular inflammation. His doctor confirmed that sugar in soda was a major contributing factor. Dr. Elizabeth Klodas, a practicing cardiologist in Minnesota, urges all patients over 50 to seriously consider eliminating liquid sugar from their diets. You don't need to cut out all sugar, she says, but you should avoid it in its most absorbable form, like the sugars found in soda, processed fruit juices, and sweetened sports drinks. She also recommends older adults monitor key health indicators regularly: blood pressure, fasting blood sugar, HDL and LDL cholesterol, triglycerides, and the liver enzyme ALT. These markers can signal hidden heart risks, even if you feel fine. The general advice from most medical professionals is clear: read nutrition labels carefully, keep daily added sugar intake below 25 to 36 grams, and whenever possible, replace soda with healthier options like water, unsweetened tea, or fresh fruit juice without added sugar. When it comes to preventing heart attacks in middle and older age, it's not about drastic overnight changes. It's about the small decisions you make every day. And one of the most impactful choices you can make is to reduce or completely eliminate sugary drinks that contain high fructose corn syrup or cane sugar. Instead of starting your morning with sweetened coffee or boxed fruit juice, try unsweetened tea or water with a few slices of fresh lemon. If you're used to having soda after meals, replace it with fruit-infused water or diluted fresh juice without added sugar. These small shifts reduce the load on your liver and pancreas, helping to lower insulin and triglyceride levels over time. When it comes to food, focus on whole, unprocessed ingredients. Fill your plate with leafy greens, legumes, whole grains, fatty fish, and fresh fruit. Limit red meat, fast food, packaged sweets, and sugary beverages. Be especially cautious of products labeled low-fat, which often contain hidden sugars. Physical activity is another key to heart health. You don't need to run marathons or hit the gym hard. A brisk 30-minute walk each day, combined with light activities like gardening, yoga, or biking, can significantly improve circulation and help regulate blood pressure. And finally, don't skip your regular checkups. Many heart attacks strike without warning. If you have a family history of heart disease, diabetes, or high blood pressure, talk to your doctor about advanced screenings such as coronary calcium scoring or echocardiograms. Cut back on sugar, stay active, eat real food, sleep well, and screen early. These 5 simple habits can make the difference between a close call and a life saved. Coca Cola's decision to replace high fructose corn syrup with cane sugar might sound like a step in the right direction. But from a medical perspective, the difference is minimal. Both HFCS and cane sugar are simple sugars that are quickly absorbed by the body, and they trigger similar responses, especially when consumed in liquid form. Fructose from any source, when consumed in excess, can damage the liver, raise blood fats, and accelerate the buildup of arterial plaque. These are not just risk factors for heart attacks, they're what lead to silent heart attacks that are hard to detect until it's too late. The real issue isn't where the sugar comes from, it's how we consume it. Just one sugary drink a day may be enough to push you into the high-risk category. The best way to protect your heart is to learn how to read nutrition labels, manage your daily sugar intake, and prioritize foods that support your long-term health, not just short-term sweetness. You don't need to cut sugar out completely, but consume it with awareness. Sugar is sugar, and your heart doesn't care about the brand. If you found this content helpful, make sure to subscribe so you won't miss future videos on heart health, nutrition, and disease prevention for adults over 50. Share this video with a friend or loved one, because the right information, shared at the right time, could help someone avoid a heart attack. Thank you for watching. Stay well and take care of your heart.